Welcome to WrittenSins.com's Kickstarter Talk, and by default, Last Rights programs, as we'll be going over both lists today. I am Mr. Anderson, the voice of WrittenSins.com and proud advocate for indie comics. Today, we're going to take some time to check out some amazing projects on Kickstarter, and even some that are receiving Last Rights now, to help them blast off of the platform. This is our first program of 2018. We're thrilled to have launched this in 2017. We are still on suspension on doing a live video via YouTube. We are currently borrowing the live feed of Sinsful Comics, which my wife actually runs that company. The agreement is that we're not going to screw up. We're not going to take any chances with any music. We now are a scripted program. I write a script every week, little details and such. It had to become that, but we're excited to be able to use Sinsful Comics. But that also means we got to be a little bit less on using the music and such. And with that said, you're going to hear more of my voice probably for some of these. So it's just what it's got to be to keep everyone safe. We're borrowing a feed from someone who doesn't have to do it for us. They're doing it to support us, and trust me, given the choice, she'd rather not let us do this. She's doing it for me to support you guys. Sinsful Comics is supposed to be just for Sinsful stuff. So I do appreciate Alyssa Anderson giving us this opportunity. But we're going to go over our list today. And the way that we always go over our list is we quickly run it down with This Week in Indie Comics. So supporting Kickstarter only takes $1. That's really easy, right? $1 can show support, attract attention, help fund projects, support indie creators, and help create new worlds. This week on, let's see if we reload this and it shows it. It should actually show something cool when it reloads. It must not have reloaded the way it was supposed to. So here it is. Oh, no, it didn't take. All right, no big deal. I was supposed to show Kickstarter last talk. I'll have it put in at the end of the program. Not a big deal. The Silent Descendants are hoping to find support from you on Kickstarter. We're going to go over that amazing Kickstarter today in just a few minutes. We're also going to talk about, now you can see this is Kickstarter. We're filming it right now. It's always in this little area right here, the This Week in Indie Comics. So if you ever need to come refer to any of these Kickstarters, it's a simple place to find it. On a faraway platform known as Kickstarter, posted not so long ago, Star Claus gained daily pledges. And we're going to check that out. And those both are part of our program of Kickstarter Last Rights. So they both are about to leave. So by all means, if they sound interesting to you, today is the day to act. Do not wait. We're going to talk about Disturbia, which is on the Kickstarter platform for a short time. We're going to find out what's so disturbing about it. We're going to talk about the villains. And this is book 2. I'm actually going to read book 1 this week. I was supposed to have done it last week and then the week before that. It's just, as a creator, you know how it goes. That's coming off the platform soon, but we still have some time to chat about it. We're going to talk about the globalists and how their reign on Kickstarter is continuing, supporting Jedi, or the autistic Jedi, and spreading autism awareness comes to life through the R4A unit, which goes from show to show throughout the 2018 Comic-Con season. They will also be reporting for Written Sins at certain events, so it's an exciting affiliation that we've done. They are considered our affiliate at this point. You could always pick up a patch for an R4AU autism awareness patch from my tables, anywhere where I table, and all proceeds for those patches go directly to them. One of the big goals of this year is to make enough money to be able to fully fund their trip to DragonCon 2018. So please help us spread autism awareness and help us get the autistic Jedi droid R4AU to all cons this year and help bring awareness to autism. Victoria Black is now on Kickstarter, but only until January 26th. We're going to take a quick look at that today. Apparently, it has become part of the Powerverse. I noticed that today while preparing for this, so excited to see them being picked up by a publisher. So that's pretty cool. We are going to be We are going to be talking more about that in the coming days. XCT, which is an Extreme Championship Tournament, most wanted on Kickstarter. This is back, and it's now the most wanted. We're going to talk more about what makes it the most wanted. James versus the New World Order. Issue number 3 is back. It's been relaunched. We're going to help succeed this time. It's James versus the New World Order. And Veteran's Wife is the official program that helps veterans returning from service. The Veteran's Wife has been an amazing operation that has allowed people to get the support they need. They do giveaways throughout the year for tickets to different shows. I've given books for them to do charity with. They're a great organization. Please check them out today. We have 2 edit posts, so we're just going to switch over here. And this is, I think, where we went wrong with the timing with it, is that, yeah, these two, which we're getting changed around. Not a big deal. Like I said, I'll fix it at the end of the program, so next time you see it, it'll make a little more sense. So here is the Silent Descendants. The Silent Descendants, we're just going to have to quickly mute this. All right, so here we go. And I got my script right here to read from you. All right, the story is a 100-page graphic novel written and created by Daquan Kane, which serves as the first chapter of the possible trilogy and in-universe anthology series. The Silent Descendants tells the story of an Irish-American family from Yonkers, New York, who find themselves distraught after losing their firefighter patriarch, Richard Durfort, and soon-to-be in-law Ashley DeCantis in a school of bombing perpetrated by the local and powerful crime syndicate called the Chain Gang. In retaliation for the most recent arrests of their leader's son, an act of which they perceived as one of rebellion, given the criminal's long-standing stronghold on the NYPD, they respond with violent intent and cause a violent tragedy that takes away Richard Durfort from the mourning family of 4 children and the newly deceased fireman's family. Responding to the tragedy each in their own way, while their psychologist mother, Christine Laurie, does her best to hold their crumbling family together in the wake of the family's heavy loss. The eldest daughter of the family, Marie Durfort, copes by using her skills as a journalist to investigate the case of the bombing, and that is the creator himself right now on the screen. He has been doing this for 16 years. We're going to quickly tune in with him.
The story centers around the Dark Furies, a New York family, and several of their friends.
Now, unfortunately, we can't play anything more than that. We can only do a clip, so that's because the music that he is using, he has obtained the rights for, so we congratulate him for that. The rights don't extend to us, and as part of our agreement with Sinsel Comics, using their feed, we're not going to take the chance. We're going to go back to reading off the script. So, the eldest son, Harold Durfort, uses his skill as a former Marine to exact his lethal brand of justice on his father and fiance's killers through the revived alias of Sergeant X. The youngest 2 siblings, a brooding young man named Hayden and his joyful sister Sarah, taking the initiative to form a team with 5 of their fellow newly superpowered friends to bring justice to those behind their hometowns terrorists. Now, the newly powered is because they unleash an old spirit that winds up empowering them. So it's part of the story there. And though reluctant, aiding the Silent Descendants is the New York detective Irene Ladwig, the very cop who faithfully arrested crime boss Stefan Fiola's son to begin with. Only 17, well, there's less than 17 days now. There's only 66 hours. The Silent Descendants is an amazing project. It has tons of art, 16 years in the making. I am very impressed by anyone who spends that much time on creating something. We have spoken with him numerously about this project and how we could help him. He was great when it came to the music. So we got one of the copyright violations was from actually him, but it wasn't his fault because he said he had the required rights. And So that's going to happen, guys. You know, if you guys have a music that you have the permission to use, by all means, keep it up on your site. But let me know so I can have this properly displayed. And you can see we still cover the things, and you'll see throughout the program we still cover people who are, in fact, part of the Kickstarter talk today. We'll have songs that are copyrighted. Sorry, just answering a question, trying to get everything set up for you guys who might want to come on to this program today. So I'm also doing just a quick mic check. There we go. I like to make sure that you guys can hear the volume while I'm filming this. We did that one time. Okay, so Silent Descendants. See more about it on the Kickstarter Last Rites program that we did, but this is just catching up with them. The art is amazing. I am so thrilled to see this, and this is it right here. See how he's going through the book comes open? That's going to be a big deal in the story. So definitely something worth checking out. A powerful story, 16 years in the making, man. Wow, that's dedication. And you guys can see it has reached its funding potential and then some. So we will be talking about this hopefully in a second pretense within a year. So we're going to talk about Star Claus. So Star Claus, we're just going to have to mute this because this does use music that we know that it's debatable whether or not. And all credit to Swamp Wine's production, it could very well be okay. But again, we're not taking any chances. So a long time ago, in a birdhouse far, far away, Star Claus. Let's see. So it's a period of civil war and terrible puns. It's also a period where the galaxy is populated entirely by birds for some reason. Anyway, there's some good birds, some bad birds, and even some robo-birds. How cool is that? Action, adventure, thrills, spills, epic space battles with awesome laser swords. Wow, someone should really film this. Star Wars, you say? What a coincidence. This is a book called Star Claus. You were warned there would be some puns. So sit back, relax, grab some birdseed, and revisit the classic trilogy as you've never seen it before. This is Star Claus. Star Claus is a graphic novel that collects 3 stories in one tradeback. In this volume, you can read Star Claus, The Empire Strikes Back, and The Return of the Jedi. Swampline Comics is a UK publisher house that is created by Chris Allen and Kim Roberts. They write and produce a number of comics and produce the horror anthology Tomb of Horror. For Star Claus, they teamed up with artist Ariel Lackey. And you can also read the first 4 pages now on the Kickstarter page itself. So why don't you do yourself a favor and join the Quacky Rebels by pledging to Star Claus today. So, and you guys can see they added some cool new features today in the way of postcard. Well, not today. I think it was yesterday. They added postcards and some cool stuff like that. And you can hear in the background possibly that my son just woke up. So might be joined by the CEO of Written Sins very shortly. So Star Claus, I mean, this is one of those things, and I said it when this first came out. I liked Robot Chicken, and I liked and loved Family Guy when they did their take on Star Wars. So I am definitely kind of looking forward to reading this. Kim Roberts is a great creator. Always such a huge fan of hers. Can't wait to see more. And speaking of more, Disturbia is a group of young teens discovered more than they have bargained for in an abandoned asylum. There is no video here, so I'm going to narrate this real quick. Disturbia is the latest horror comic from Swampline Comics. Remember I told you there's going to be more? Step back into the 1980s in this new supernatural tale by Kim Roberts, Mark Harper, and Chris Allen. It is Halloween night, and a group of bored teens decide to break into an old abandoned asylum on the outskirts of town. Lurking in the old basement, they find something that will change their lives forever. Disturbia 1 is a 36 full-colored comic book with bonus content for fans of the 1980s Stranger Things. This could be the comic book for you. Swampline Comics is a UK publisher and a publisher number of comics in the UK, including Resurrected, Voodoo Curse, Soulless, Dragonstein, Toothville, Star Claus, and the Tomb of Horrors. And you guys can see they have a preview once again of the first 4 pages. So check it out today and become a fan of Swampline Productions. Here is the amazing villain Noir editions. Now, okay, so here we go. As you guys can see, I was checking this video. Once again, I can't, this should be free for use, so I'm gonna, hopefully, Marcel Dupree told me that they get this free to use, so you guys can actually check it out. Okay, so Evolutionine Publishing, Metzger, and Paslock presents Villains, which is now back on Kickstarter for its 2nd issue in a Noir edition. Variant is by Josh Metzger and Gozash Paslock. You can now support their project and share it on Kickstarter. You guys can see the cost of living. Obviously, some bad shit's going to go down in this issue. It's going to be some crazy stuff. Here's some of the amazing creators behind it. George Goes the Gosh is he just celebrated a birthday recently, I think. I just said happy birthday to him. So do him a favor, give him a birthday gift. Marcel Dupree, amazing creator, is also part of this. You can also see Against the World. This is a creation that is together. This is something that's exclusive for this Kickstarter. A 2nd comic by this fantasy is included, so this is something that will be included in the book. So that's kind of cool. You guys get bonus feature. How many Kickstarters will give you bonus feature? Not many. So this is definitely worth checking out. I'm just gonna move on to our next one, give you guys a drink it in, and now we're gonna move on. So the Globalists, we can, I believe we're good to watch this. Okay, we can't watch this after 1:13, so you guys get the first minute and 13 seconds. There you go.
Welcome to IDN. My name is Margaret Ann Gates, and this is Interdime News, your news from every dime. Yesterday marked the 7th year anniversary and total global unification for Earth Dime 10. Under the leadership of the United Nationalists, the world's superhumans have unified the entire world's governments into one global nation. Such a feat took the toppling of all nation-states, governments, and elected officials, willing or unwilling. The United Nationalists, leader and strongest superhuman of this earth, stated, and I quote, "Such an act was necessary to bring total peace to the world. Religion and certain literature has been out."
That's on me. Sorry about that, guys.
And all language has been unified into English. Despite a small terrorist group movement called the Resistance, 99% of the world's population has embraced this newfound utopia. Now, in other news, Weavergate technology has made it easier for citizens to traverse the Powerverse and all its known dimes. Interdime vacationing has become a boom. Power Industries of Earth Dime 1 has announced that its corporate hero and heir, Will Power, will be undertaking a meet and greet to tour all known 10 dimes.
Now we're just going to go ahead and mute this now. And I do have something to read while we watch a video, so hang on 1 second as I get out my paper. All right, let's do this. Wanting to put an end to the conflict, hunger, and endless wars, the League of Nations superheroes rebelled. Biting into the hand that fed them, they took control and waged war. What they wanted was the one and final war against all the world. Led by the empowered humans named the United Nationalists, the superhumans won. Their new United Nations now controls the earth of Dime 10. However, a small band of resistance are fighting for freedom. But due to the new united propaganda campaigns, 99% of the world believes these rebels to be nothing more than terrorists. Despite the rebels' best attempts to regain power, the superheroes' UN reign holds fast. They believe their conquest has truly brought peace to the planet. No more religion, only patriotism. Man now speaks only one language, Esperanto. One voice, one nation earth, O-N-E, one. The power of one through the strength of all. Peace through unity. So how cool is that, man? I know you're like, wow, I dig that, because I dig it too. We are looking at the ever-expanding, and I do mean this, the ever-expanding Powerverse universe as it seems to get bigger and bigger. In 2017, we saw it continue to grow, and now we're only watching it getting a little bigger and bigger as time goes on. I am so thrilled to see these comic groups as they come up and they get bigger and bigger. It's so gratifying to know that indie comics is strengthening and we're getting these groups that are building these amazing things. The Powerverse is definitely one of those groups, hands down, that is building something that is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. They keep collecting some amazing talents and amazing books to bring into themselves. Victoria Black, which we're going to get to in a few minutes, has just joined their ranks, and we'll look at that very quickly. I believe the video is just a few more minutes. They seem to have added some art to it. It actually makes me wonder if I'll have to watch this off camera at one point. I'm pretty sure there's music playing. There was last time, but I'll check it out. Really quickly, the one thing I want to talk about this is just the idea of how crazy it would be to have superpowered beings in control. I mean, just imagine Superman being the guy telling you what to do. I mean, what can you really do? It's not like you could assassinate him or anything like that. So that'd be crazy. This is Indie Alliance approved, so that's kind of cool. And here it comes. I love this graphic. Gotta give him credit for this graphic. I always think I'm about to see like there you go, Powerverse. I always think I'm going to see like a space station come together, and sure enough, it's the giant P for Powerverse. All right, guys, we're going to move on to Extreme Championship Tournament. As you guys can see, I actually watched this whole video today. Just the end of it, we have to be a little careful of. It should be fun.
G'day guys, Sean here, the creator of the Extreme Champion Tournament series, and I'm here to talk to you about our latest project, which is XCT Most Wanted, a graphic novel anthology based around our current XCT series. So what is XCT Most Wanted? Well, XCT Most Wanted is a anthology based within the XCT universe, where we've created 6 short stories by 6 different writers and 6 different artists to expand the XCT universe. We wanted to expand the XCT universe much quicker than the way we were releasing our single issues. So we thought what a great idea an anthology would be. So we've been able to scour the world to get some really good artists and writers on board, and we've created this fantastic graphic novel. So check out our project page to see all the creators involved, but some of them do include Eddie Nunez, who's worked on DC and IDW books, as well as Mark Lotia, who has also done work for Gestalt Publishing here in Australia, as well as some other talented writers and artists. The stories include the Tengu from the Japanese mythology. We've got dragons. We have the frost giants from Norse mythology, as well as a bunch of other stories in there. So this is a jam-packed book with hot art to boot. So something you're definitely not going to want to miss. So this is where you guys come in. We are needing to raise $2,000 for the publishing costs, as we've totally completed this book other than the colours on the cover and collating it all together. So we need to raise that $2,000 in 41 days, and we've got some awesome rewards for you guys in helping us reach our target. Now, some of those rewards include a digital copy of the graphic novel, a physical copy of the graphic novel. We've got digital sketch rewards. If you haven't read the XCT series, we've got the whole collection all together at a ridiculously cheap price. Some of our higher tiers, we've got you drawn into our next anthology that we've just released or announced on our Facebook page, and even have your own story written in the XCT universe. So I'm sure that would appeal to some of you guys out there. Thanks for taking the time to check out our video, and we really hope that you'll pledge to our project. But if you can't, if you're able to share it around with your friends and contacts, that would be super helpful and really, really appreciated. In the meantime, check out some of the pages in the series towards the end of this video, and see if you like what we've done. Thanks.
Now, the cool thing going forward is that we are going to have a couple Spoken Sin interviews with the ongoing creators behind this. We're going to have some people jump in, so we're going to have a bigger discussion, hopefully next week. So looking forward to that. This is the second in this series. Remember, we saw XCT last year. And it was successfully funded. So this is the next part of the anthology series. So this is just brought to us on Kickstarter, so we're excited about it. Now, I don't think that I've heard back yet on this. I'd actually try to check. And you guys can hear Jax is behind me with this car. So the Victoria Black Kickstarter, it changed its video, so it is heavy on music right now. So we cannot violate the agreement that we agreed to, so we're not going to be able to play it. I don't have anything to really read to you, so I'm going to let it play for a few seconds. There's 22 days to go, so I do encourage you all to check out the video on your own time. We can't play it because of the copyright. We're going to try to fix that for the next issue, the next episode. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe there's someone actually talking here. Let's take a quick peek. Maybe we'll get lucky. Nope. See that with music playing in the background, it doesn't matter. We just can't take that risk. And I can tell you that I did Shazam it, and I do know for a fact that it is actually music that would be copyrighted. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to kick it up to this part. We'll just take a quick few seconds looking at this. I am sorry. I mean, I feel bad for not being able to play it like it's meant to be played, but I mean, it is a copyright issue, and there's not much I can do about that. So hopefully next week we'll be able to dive a little deeper into this. But for now, we are going to have to move on to James versus the New World Order, Issue 3, the relaunch.
Hey everyone, this is Brandon Petros, writer and creator of the post-apocalyptic action comedy James versus the New World Order. I'd like to welcome you to our Kickstarter relaunch for issue number 3. The project is 100% complete, so upon funding, you should be getting your product as early as February. And we have some really awesome awards this time around. I kicked them up a bit since last time, so be sure to check those out. Hey everyone, this is Brandon Petros, writer and creator of the post-apocalyptic action comedy James versus the New World Order. I'd like to welcome you to our Kickstarter relaunch for issue number 3. The project is 100% complete, so upon funding, you should be getting your product as early as February. And we have some really awesome awards this time around. I kicked them up a bit since last time, so be sure to check those out. And hopefully we'll reach our goal of $3,000, which would put us in a really awesome place to be able to distribute everything nicely without going too much into the hole. So check out our tiers. Check out some of the artwork. Hope you like it, and thank you very much.
So this is returned to Kickstarter. So last time, unfortunately, it missed. And that happens, you know, whatever it be, there are reasons for it. We're going to support it. We're going to make sure it gets funded this time. This is something I need. We haven't done this today, so we're going to do it now. We're going to hit the share button on Facebook. Now, it takes more than sharing in 2018. 2018 has become a treacherous year as social media was monetized. In 2017, and sorry for walking away. I had to close the door before television signal was picked up on the mic. It called a copyright violation. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you're going to have to talk. If you really appreciate what someone's doing, you're going to have to go beyond sharing. You're going to have to actually talk about it. So get active. If you like someone's Kickstarter, tell them, talk about it, tell your friends about it, start a thread and say, I know this really good Kickstarter, and put the link in your comment section and get your friends excited about it. That's how you support someone. You really support someone, you want to talk about it. I know in 2016 and 2017 we talked about sharing things, but this year I challenge you all to go beyond sharing, and I challenge you to actually start discussing what you like about creators and their work, and help them build a bigger audience by having you be their megaphone. So do that. Support creators you believe in. So we're going to go back. We're going to talk about this week in Indie Comics. We're going to go back over our list, and we're going to talk about it. We talked about everything today. There's, of course, the extended version of the Kickstarter Talk Last Rights program, which will be up on this actual thread. When we're done, I'm going to upload the video, and you guys are going to be able to see some cool stuff. But in the meantime, here's the list, which remember, we'll show you at the top of the list is in the menu section. You can always find it. James is taking on the New World Order with issue number 3, Extreme Championship Tournament, The Most Wanted. Victoria Black was featured on today's program, and we talked about the importance of spreading autism awareness and how R4AU patches will help fund them getting to DragonCon 2018. The Globalists are only on Kickstarter till January 20th, so please join it now. The Villains is back on Kickstarter for their second issue. This is the Noir edition. Disturbia, we found out, is a group of young 1980s teenagers up to no good in an abandoned asylum. Find out what happens to them on Halloween night by picking up an issue of Disturbia on Kickstarter. Also from Swampline Comics is the amazing Star Claws retelling of the original Star Something trilogy. You guys might know that movie. Something about droids and space wizards. check out our episode right here, first one of the year, Welcome to 2018, and find out more about the Silent Descendants by watching the video from Kickstarter Last Right. And remember, supporting Kickstarter only takes a $1. With $1, you can show support, attract attention, help fund projects, support indie creators, and help create new worlds. This has been Kickstarter Talk, the first issue, or episode, I should say. We should call it issues, man. Don't even call it episodes. I'll change that. We're going to put issue 1, enter 2018. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to talking with you about more sins in the near future. All right, guys. That's the end of the program. Thank you for joining us. We're going to say goodnight to Twitter. All right. And we're signing off of our, oops. And we're going to go ahead and sign off of our feed here. There we go. I'm just going to move this back, and you guys are going to get to see me one last time. Oh, I think I lost you for a second. Don't worry, I'll get you back. All right. Probably seeing me move around and struggle. Let me see if I can't find you. There we are. Here we are. We're like I thought. We're still live, so you guys will see me wiggling around trying to get my chair right. My neck's still killing me, so that's part of the problem there. All right, so we're gonna go off there. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. All right. That should be it. Thank you. What you up to?
Eat.